Hey everyone, we're here with a quick review of the new MSI GT73 Titan laptop. We here at Unlocked were super hyped that we got to play with this monster for a couple of days, especially since it has a GTX 1080 inside. After a few benchmarks and a lot of Overwatch, we're here to give you our thoughts to see if this laptop is right for you. To answer a question we get all the time, why gaming laptops? And we use the word laptop loosely. The reason is a lot of us already have killer gaming desktops, and we like to travel and we want to game on the road. Also, some of us don't have room for a desktop system, and a notebook like the Titan is a legit desktop replacement. First, the Titan is one of MSI's nearly 30 new VR-ready laptops that are using the new NVIDIA graphics cards. MSI went insane making new Pascal notebooks, and the number of models gets pretty confusing. The GT73 Titan here is an entirely new model, not to be confused with the GT72 Dominator or the GT83 Titan. We do wish MSI gave this thing a new name, just to avoid the confusion. The new Titan is a 17.3 model, while the GT83 Titan is a monster 18-incher with a mechanical keyboard. Interestingly, the lower-end GT72 Dominator is almost exactly the same size as the Titan, but only holds a single GTX 1070. Both are around 8.5 pounds, but the Titan can run double 1070s or a single 1080 card, thanks to the new chassis design. You'll also notice huge vents on the bottom, sides, and back to provide serious airflow for the desktop 1080. The new design takes advantage of the higher wattage requirement for the 1080 while also ditching out that optical drive. Finally, right? As for specs, the Titan models come with the Intel i7-6820HK CPU. For memory, you'll get anywhere from 16 to 64 gigs of DDR4 RAM at 2400 speeds. For storage, options range from 128 gigs to 1 terabyte NVMe solid-state drives. The screens are all new, so either an HD display of 120Hz refresh rate or a full 4K display. The model we received was a 2800 entry-level model with a GTX 1080, 16 gigs of RAM, and a small 128 gig solid-state drive with a second spinning disk. We would have preferred if MSI ditched the hard drive and gave us a bigger solid-state drive, considering the price point, but that's why the most expensive model exists. And swapping the M.2 drives is really easy. One of the big new additions for the MSI laptops are the 120Hz G-Sync screens, high refresh rate screens that are made for fast-paced gaming. With G-Sync, the screen refreshes the same rate as the frames per second, so Overwatch on Epic gets around 110 frames per second, and the screen refreshes at 110 Hz. This means the graphics are really smooth, and honestly this is the ultimate laptop gaming display for esports and other high FPS games. The other new option on the Titan is a 4K display. Why choose 4K over 120 Hz? For games that look gorgeous, where you want the max resolution but don't need the high frames per second. For games like Deus Ex, The Witcher, and Arkham Knight will look amazing. The big question, of course, is how does Titan's 1080 compare to the desktop 1080? Well, the Titan is still a laptop after all, and the MSI gets about 10% less powerful than the desktop version. During Overwatch, the fans did ramp up to max. The Titan is much louder than the MSI Apache Pro with the 1060. While obviously the 1080 is much more powerful than the 1060, and it's going to run a lot hotter, we just wish MSI launched a better fan management to keep the laptop cool. Of course, we should mention that the fan noise is by no means a deal breaker. Interestingly, the headphone connection here is a really fancy ESS Sabre DAC and amp. This is a legit audiophile hardware that's similar to audiophile DACs and the AudioQuest Dragonfly that also uses the Sabre DAC. Obviously, MSI's DAC won't be as good as Dragonfly, but the fact that MSI included it in the notebook is seriously impressive. The Dynaudio speakers are really powerful and are easily one of the loudest available on a laptop. Overall, we're super impressed with the new MSI Titan, and we're sad to see it leave. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and subscribe for more hardware reviews, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. Keep an eye out on the channel as we're going to have some new awesome things coming in the future.